I just wanted to do this impromptu video, apparently as my first video, about an experience I had at the emergency room a few weeks ago. So I went by ambulance to the local ER because I dislocated my shoulder. So I've never broken a bone, never dislocated anything. I've really never sprained anything really badly, mainly because I don't really do activities that cause those type of things, because I have CHD, also known as congenital heart disease. And mainly I take blood thinners, so what that means is that my blood is medically, so my blood is regulated to be between 2.5 and 3.5, meaning that anytime I fall, even minorly, but usually a major fall, anything like that, I can get bleeding in the joint, bleeding, internal bleeding, external bleeding, things like that. So when I fell, the grocery store, and this is why I don't do physical activity. You can't walk out of grocery stores without dislocating things. So the paramedics came and they got me into the ambulance, started an IV, gave me Dilaudid to kind of try to ease the pain. It made it from an 11 to a 10, so thanks for trying. They were super nice, got me to the ER, and they actually rushed me right into a procedure room. I relocated my shoulder, and then I was put into one of the emergency room, rooms, private room. I'm not even sure my emergency room has multiple occupancy areas anymore. So when I was in there, for the first few hours, I was definitely super drugged up still. And then I was beginning to notice that my heart rate, and I just felt, would slow down, and really I just kind of felt really weak. And I look over at I was hooked up to a heart monitor because of my pre-existing heart condition. And I saw that my O2 stats were going down into the low 80s. With my heart disease, I have never had any time that I am aware of, or that my mom is aware of, because she was there with me, that I have ever been in the low 80s. And that is after 4 open heart surgeries, multiple other surgeries, that kind of things, with very heavy duty medicine, drugs and pain medicine. I have never dropped down that low before. And so my nurse, I was saying, hey, I'm kind of worried because my oxygen's dropping down into the low 80s, and that's not normal for me. And I was like, what should I do? And they had me on oxygen anyways, after the procedure, and they had started taking it off to kind of wean me off of it so I could eventually go home that night. And I was like, well, what if I go back on the oxygen just for a little bit until we maybe figure out why it's happening? And she goes, no, it's fine. And she's like, you're just on pain medicine, and that's why you're feeling like that, and that's why your O2 stats are dropping. And I go, no, I don't think so. I have had pain medicine before. I've been through surgeries. I've been through all of this. I was starting to get my wits about me because I was starting to feel really concerned. Still kind of drugged up, but as witty as I could be, I guess. I was like, no, I don't think this is right. I think that there's something wrong. And she goes, no, you know what? I know what I'm talking about. And I was just like, I couldn't understand. And I was crying anyways, just because the medicine, the whole experience of going for a dislocated shoulder was kind of overwhelming me, and I didn't really know why. And I think now it was because this was the first big thing that I've been in for something physically wrong, and not externally physically wrong, not internally physically wrong. And so it was just a totally different experience for me. And I was just apologizing for my mom to have to get up in the middle of the night, and get out of whatever her evening plans are, and coming to the ER. And I was, whatever medicine does to you, I was just kind of shaken up. And then the nurse, I was like, no, is there any way that I could speak to the doctor and explain it to them about what's going on, and maybe that they would understand my concerns? So she was like, no, I don't think so. I think you just need to be stronger. Well, let me tell you what you don't do. You don't tell someone, well, in general, to be stronger when they're sitting there in the emergency room. It's not really the place or time. You also don't tell someone with congenital heart disease who has been living with, chronic pain, chronic illness, invisible illness their entire life to be stronger. I was trying to explain it to someone who really doesn't have any like illness of this particular kind, and I was like, it's like me telling you to just do better or be smarter. I mean, if I'm telling you to be smarter and you're trying and you're learning as hard as you can, and I tell you to be smarter, I'm literally discrediting everything that you've tried to do to get to where you are in your schooling academics in that one little sentence. Not even a sentence, like a phrase. So I just went off and I started bawling, and I was like, get out right now. And I just couldn't understand how a nurse, a medically trained staff member, could tell a patient to be stronger when I felt like there was something wrong, because I never seen those low of numbers before. So I've had PTSD, like medical PTSD. Just wanted to congratulate this nurse for now giving me PTSD while going to the emergency room for anything but heart-related things. Because now I don't know if someone's actually going to believe me or care that I don't think something is prominent or concerning, and that they're just going to brush me off like this lady did. And it's been a few weeks, and I've kind of dealt with it in my own way, and I've talked to my other friends who have CHD, and I mean, we all are just under the understanding that there are some people that just don't get it. And I think with that being said, though, is that we need to help them get it. We need to help people around us get it. We need to help people understand that maybe right now I look fine and I feel fine, but that there are days that I can barely get out of bed. There are days where I can barely walk from my parking spot fairly close to the store and I'm out of breath. But then other days I'm running through the rain and I feel perfectly fine. So to explain to someone that I am now afraid to go to the ER is something really hard. But I wanted to mainly make this video because I wanted to see what other people's experiences were and how they coped with it, and maybe how I should, moving forward, maybe talk to this emergency room, like, because they give you the cards that say how was your visit, and maybe how I should fill that out and how I should fill it out without being rude and insensitive like they were, and maybe try to help them understand what they did wrong or that they could do better. So I just want to hear what your stories are, and if you've all ever had this kind of experience, and if it's given you any type of fear of going back, or PTSD in this fact. So I hope you all have a good night, good day, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you later. Bye.